Have you ever felt like there's more to reality than what meets the eye? Moments that feel too strange, too coincidental to simply ignore? What if I told you another version of you, a parallel version, might be trying to send you a message? Think about it. Unexplained déjà vu, vivid dreams, and eerie synchronicities. These could be signals from a different dimension of yourself crossing into your reality. Science and metaphysics suggest that multiple versions of you exist, each living out a different path in the multiverse. But what if the barriers between these worlds aren't as solid as we think? Today, we're exploring the signs that your parallel self is trying to reach out. Parallel universes and the multiverse theory are concepts from both science and metaphysics that suggest our reality is just one of many. A parallel universe refers to a separate, self-contained dimension that exists alongside our own, where events, people, and circumstances may unfold differently. Each of these universes operates independently, but they may follow similar laws of physics. The multiverse theory takes this a step further, proposing that an infinite number of universes exist, each representing different outcomes for every possible decision or event. In this framework, there are countless versions of you, each living out different life paths in alternate realities. For example, in one universe, you might have taken a different job or moved to a different city, creating a completely different trajectory for that version of you. These parallel versions of you could theoretically influence or even communicate across dimensions, leading to phenomena like déjà vu or synchronicities. In essence, the multiverse theory opens up the possibility that every choice you make leads to the creation of a new reality, where each version of you exists in a different universe, experiencing life from a unique perspective. In quantum mechanics, quantum entanglement refers to a phenomenon where two particles become so deeply linked that the state of one instantly influences the other, no matter the distance between them. This connection is instantaneous, suggesting that information can travel across space without regard for physical separation, transcending conventional limits. If particles can be linked across vast distances, the idea extends that consciousness or energy might also connect us with our parallel selves across dimensions, allowing for communication that defies physical boundaries. String theory offers another scientific basis for the possibility of communication between realities. This theory suggests that the universe is made up of tiny vibrating strings that exist in more than the familiar 3 dimensions. These strings operate in up to 11 dimensions, according to some models. These additional dimensions could hold the key to understanding how different realities overlap or intersect. If energy, thoughts, or consciousness vibrate at different frequencies, they may have the potential to cross into these other dimensions. This could allow for brief connections or interactions between different versions of ourselves. In metaphysical terms, energy and thought are not bound by the limitations of the physical world. It's believed that our consciousness can access higher planes or dimensions through focused intention, meditation, or deep intuition. Just as radio waves can broadcast across great distances without us seeing them, consciousness may act like a frequency that can tune into parallel versions of ourselves. When you're particularly in tune, whether through intuition, dreams, or synchronicity, you might be receiving a form of communication from a version of yourself that exists in a different dimension or reality. These scientific and metaphysical ideas combine to suggest that while we are anchored in this reality, our thoughts, energy, and consciousness might be free to traverse different dimensions, connecting with parallel versions of ourselves and even exchanging information across the multiverse. Seeing the same numbers repeatedly, such as 1111 or 333, is often considered a form of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that seem too precise to be random. In the context of parallel universes, these numbers may be signals from a parallel version of yourself attempting to communicate across dimensions. These numbers, often referred to as angel numbers or master numbers, are believed to carry specific energetic frequencies. In metaphysical practices, certain numbers are thought to be symbols of universal patterns or cosmic messages. When you see repeating numbers frequently, it can be interpreted as a form of guidance, a nudge from the universe, or in this case, from a parallel version of yourself. If parallel versions of yourself exist in different realities, it's possible that these versions are encountering similar experiences, thoughts, or emotions. Repeated numbers could serve as points of resonance where your experience and the experience of your parallel self align. For example, seeing 1111 might indicate that you and another version of yourself are making a significant decision or are at a crossroads in your respective lives. The number acts as a signal, drawing your attention to this moment of alignment. 1111 is often associated with awakening or alignment with your higher self. In the context of parallel realities, it could mean that your parallel self is trying to awaken you to a higher truth or decision. It's a call to pay attention to your thoughts, intentions, or actions, as you and your parallel self might be moving toward a similar goal or transformative experience. 333 is often connected to creativity, growth, and balance. Seeing 333 could indicate that your parallel self is experiencing a surge in creativity or is working toward balancing their life, signaling that it may be time for you to focus on these aspects as well. This number might reflect a shared lesson or experience that's unfolding simultaneously across dimensions. Imagine that energy and thoughts from your parallel self vibrate at a certain frequency. When those vibrations align with your reality, they could manifest as repeated symbols like numbers, acting as signals of resonance. These numbers grab your attention, serving as a way for your parallel self to guide or communicate with you. It's as if both versions of you are momentarily in sync, with the number appearing to alert you to this alignment. By recognizing these repeated numbers, you may be tuning into the collective wisdom or shared experiences of yourself across different dimensions. These signals might not provide an immediate answer, but they offer clues that something meaningful is happening, something your parallel self is trying to share with you. In the multiverse theory, parallel versions of you are living out different choices, but certain universal experiences, emotional, spiritual, or psychological, may cross the boundaries between these realities. When your experience in this reality aligns with that of your parallel self, synchronicities can arise, signaling that your paths are converging for a brief moment. These events act as energetic echoes from another version of you, trying to guide your awareness to something important. The repeated symbols you encounter could serve as catalysts for action or reflection, pushing you toward a decision, realization, or growth that mirrors what's happening with your parallel self. In essence, synchronicities become cosmic breadcrumbs, guiding you toward alignment with your higher purpose or a path more attuned to your authentic self. Imagine you keep hearing the same unusual name over the course of a few days. You meet someone with this name at a coffee shop, hear it mentioned in a song, and then see it written on a billboard. In your current reality, you may dismiss this as a random coincidence, but it could be a sign that your parallel self is encountering someone or something significant related to this name in their reality. This synchronicity might signal that a person with that name will soon play a key role in your life, or it could point to an event that holds deep meaning in both realities. Perhaps you keep noticing butterflies everywhere. You see one in your backyard, then on the cover of a book, and later, a butterfly necklace catches your eye in a store. Butterflies are often symbolic of transformation. Your parallel self could be going through a major life change or personal metamorphosis, and this synchronicity is nudging you to be aware of the shifts happening in your own life. It might suggest that you are on the brink of a major breakthrough or change, mirroring what your alternate self is experiencing. Let's say you miss a bus to work twice in the same week, only to run into an old friend each time. The odds of this happening may seem small, but in a parallel universe, perhaps your alternate self has reconnected with this same friend under completely different circumstances. The synchronicity of missing the bus and meeting your friend could be a sign that reconnecting with them is significant for your current path, just as it is for your parallel self. You might hear the same piece of advice repeated by different people, or even from unrelated sources, within a short span of time. For example, multiple people tell you to trust your gut or take the leap within a few days. In another dimension, your parallel self could be at a critical juncture, wrestling with a decision, and this repeated message could be the push they need to take action. As the same advice appears in your reality, it might indicate that you're also being guided to make a similar choice. Perhaps you dream of an unfamiliar place, and then the next day, you see that exact location on TV or hear someone mention it in conversation. In this scenario, your parallel self may be living in or visiting that place, and the synchronicity is a clue that your realities are briefly intersecting. These types of dreams can be seen as messages from your parallel self, encouraging you to pay attention to the meaning behind that location or event. Trust your intuition. If something feels significant or keeps repeating, don't brush it off as coincidence. Your intuition often picks up on connections that your conscious mind may miss. Random thoughts, memories, or sudden urges to engage in behaviors that seem out of character can often feel disjointed or inexplicable. However, in the context of parallel universes, these experiences might actually be influenced by another version of you, your parallel self, that is living out a different reality. This phenomenon suggests that there could be a fluidity in consciousness that allows experiences from alternate realities to seep into our awareness, influencing our choices and actions. The idea that consciousness could transcend the boundaries of time and space posits that all versions of you are interconnected in a vast web of experience. When your parallel self makes a significant choice or has a transformative experience, it may send out ripples that you can intuitively sense. As a result, you might experience sudden thoughts or memories related to their journey, prompting you to act in ways that align with their experiences. Consider those moments when a seemingly random thought pops into your head. Perhaps the desire to reach out to an old friend or to explore a new hobby you've never considered before. These thoughts might reflect decisions your parallel self is grappling with or actively making. For example, if your alternate version is pursuing a new career path or rekindling a relationship, you might experience a sudden urge to reconnect with your own past. This could serve as a nudge to align your choices with those of your parallel self. Have you ever found yourself reminiscing about a time or experience that feels oddly out of context with your current life? These memories could be echoes from another reality, moments that your parallel self has lived out. For instance, if you suddenly remember a passion for painting after years of neglect, it may reflect a choice your alternate self has made to explore creativity. This memory may act as a prompt, encouraging you to engage in similar actions that could lead to fulfillment in your current life. Sudden urges to act in ways that feel foreign to you can also be seen as influences from your parallel self. If you suddenly feel compelled to travel to a place you've never visited or to take up a challenging activity, it may signify that your alternate version is experiencing similar desires. These urges can act as guidance signals, pushing you to explore new avenues that resonate with the choices your parallel self is making, thus inviting you to step out of your comfort zone. The idea that your parallel self might influence your behavior ties into the concept of transformation. When you experience urges or thoughts that seem to emerge out of nowhere, they may reflect an innate desire for change. If your parallel self is undergoing a significant personal transformation, like letting go of limiting beliefs or embracing a new identity, these shifts could influence you as well. The unexplainable thoughts serve as a gentle nudge, guiding you toward a similar journey of growth. Observe the thoughts. When you have a random thought or urge, take a moment to sit with it. Ask yourself if it resonates with any decisions or feelings you've been contemplating. Reflect on the memories. Consider the memories that resurface. Are they connected to experiences you wish to explore or learn from? Journaling these memories can help you gain clarity. Embrace the urges. Instead of dismissing sudden urges as mere whims, try to lean into them. Explore new activities, reconnect with people, or pursue interests that feel unfamiliar but intriguing. By recognizing that these thoughts and urges could stem from your parallel self, you may find a deeper understanding of your own desires and potential pathways for growth. This awareness invites you to embrace the complexity of your existence, acknowledging the interplay between different versions of yourself as you navigate your unique journey. Dreams have long fascinated humanity, often regarded as mysterious windows into our psyche. However, in the context of parallel universes, dreams can also serve as portals into the lives of your parallel selves. When you dream of living a different life, it may not simply be a figment of your imagination, but rather a glimpse into the realities of alternate versions of you. Many people experience dreams where they find themselves in scenarios that feel entirely different from their waking lives, perhaps living in a different city, pursuing a different career, or even embodying a different identity. These dreams can act as glimpses into the lives of your parallel selves, showcasing choices they've made and paths they've taken. For example, if you dream of being a renowned artist in a vibrant city, it may reflect a version of you that has embraced creativity and artistic expression, living out experiences that are both inspiring and fulfilling. The subconscious mind has an incredible ability to access and process information outside of our conscious awareness. It can act as a bridge between dimensions, allowing messages and experiences from parallel realities to seep into your dreams. When you enter the dream state, your mind is less constrained by the limitations of your current reality, opening up the possibility for interdimensional communication. This allows for the transmission of insights, lessons, or feelings that your parallel selves are experiencing, thus influencing your waking life. Dreaming of scenarios where you revisit past decisions or relationships can be indicative of your parallel selves exploring the consequences of those choices in their own realities. For instance, if you dream of returning to a childhood home or reconnecting with an old friend, it may reflect the experiences of a parallel version of you navigating similar paths. These dreams can prompt reflection on how those choices impact your current life. Dreams that showcase divergent outcomes from your current life, such as pursuing a completely different career or lifestyle, can provide insight into the paths your parallel selves are taking. You might find yourself dreaming about being a successful entrepreneur or an adventurer exploring distant lands. These dreams highlight the infinite possibilities that exist within your potential. serving as reminders of what could be achieved in your own reality. If you encounter dreams where you are dealing with unresolved conflicts or challenges, it may signify that your parallel selves are grappling with similar issues. These dreams may serve as a call to action, urging you to address situations in your waking life that require resolution or growth. By engaging with these challenges in the dream state, you may gain valuable insights that influence your decisions in this reality. Dreams often utilize symbols and metaphors to convey messages. Encountering specific symbols such as keys, doors, or mirrors might indicate opportunities for growth or transformation that resonate with your parallel self's experiences. For instance, dreaming of unlocking a door could signify newfound opportunities awaiting you, reflecting the choices your parallel selves are embracing. Moments that seem like glitches in our daily lives can often leave us questioning reality. These peculiar occurrences, objects seemingly moving on their own, timelines shifting in inexplicable ways, or people recalling events differently, may actually be evidence of parallel dimensions intersecting. This intriguing notion suggests that our experiences may not be as solid and linear as they seem, and could hint at the influence of our parallel selves reaching out to us. Reality glitches manifest in various forms. You might notice an object in your room that seems to shift position without explanation, or you might hear a conversation that later seems to contradict your memory of the event. These anomalies can feel disorienting, as if the fabric of reality is momentarily frayed. In the context of parallel universes, these glitches may represent the subtle overlap between dimensions where the actions or experiences of your parallel self briefly intersect with your current reality. Time itself may not be as rigid as we perceive. Many people report experiencing moments where the sequence of events feels altered or compressed, leading to a sensation that time has glitched. For example, you may have a day that feels strangely elongated, or conversely, time may seem to vanish altogether. Such experiences could signify that your parallel self is navigating a different timeline, and as those timelines converge, you momentarily experience the effects of those shifts in your own reality. When you encounter these glitches, consider them as subtle invitations from your parallel self to pay attention to the signs around you. These anomalies might not just be random occurrences. They could be your alternate self's way of signaling that something important is at play. For example, if you find an item that seems to have appeared out of nowhere, it may hold symbolic meaning related to a decision or realization your parallel self is grappling with. Reality glitches may serve as reminders that you are aligned with the choices of your parallel selves. If you experience a moment where everything seems to fall into place, or you feel a sudden rush of inspiration, it could be a sign that your parallel self is trying to guide you toward a path they have embraced. These glitches can serve as encouragement to follow your intuition and take action in your waking life that aligns with your true desires. In moments of inexplicable shifts, consider the possibility that your parallel self is trying to share vital information. Perhaps you experience a déjà vu moment where you feel as though you've lived a specific moment before. This sensation may indicate that your parallel self has experienced something similar, and their insights or experiences could offer valuable lessons or guidance for your current journey. The mysterious object. You might notice a picture frame that you distinctly remember being in one place suddenly found in another. This could symbolize a shift in your perspective or highlight an unresolved issue that your parallel self has navigated, urging you to address it in your own life. The twisting timeline. You're going about your day and suddenly realize that you've lost an hour, or that people around you seem to be repeating themselves. This might signal a moment of synchronicity, encouraging you to pause and reflect on the choices you are making. aligning them with the positive outcomes your parallel cell may have achieved. Conflicting memories. A group of friends reminisces about a trip, but everyone recalls different events. This shared discrepancy may indicate that alternate realities are influencing your collective experiences, suggesting that the memories you share can also reflect lessons learned from parallel lives. Reality glitches may initially appear as mere oddities, but when viewed through the lens of parallel universes, they can reveal profound insights into the nature of existence and interconnectedness. By recognizing these moments as potential messages from your parallel selves, you open the door to a deeper understanding of your own journey. Each glitch serves as a reminder of the infinite possibilities that exist, encouraging you to remain aware and attuned to the signs that may be guiding you toward your true path. To become more attuned to messages from your parallel self, a powerful method is to strengthen your intuition through visualization exercises. Visualization taps into the subconscious mind, helping you open pathways to other dimensions of yourself. Start by finding a quiet space where you can sit comfortably and close your eyes, ensuring you won't be disturbed for a few minutes. Focus on your breath, taking slow, deep inhalations to center yourself and clear your mind. Next, visualize two versions of yourself. Imagine standing in front of another version of you, a you from a parallel universe. Picture this alternate self clearly, considering what they're wearing, how they stand, and their environment. Create an energy connection by visualizing a bright, glowing line of light that links your third eye, the forehead area, to the third eye of your parallel self, serving as an energy bridge between you. Mentally ask your parallel self a question, such as, "What message do you have for me?" Or, "What do I need to know?" Then, stay still and observe what comes to mind, whether it's a feeling, image, word, or sensation. Trust the subtle messages that arise, even if they don't make sense right away. Finally, once you feel you've received a message, gently ground yourself by taking a few deep breaths and opening your eyes, returning to your awareness with the insights you've gained.